Only a business owner knows the level of investment and risk required to have a successful business. And if a business owner is thinking about selling his business, how do you know which business broker to choose to help maximize your investment? Well, today we're going to talk with Stefan Lagmark. He's the president and managing broker of Alamo Brokers of Texas. So Stefan, tell me, give me an idea of what a business owner should be thinking about when they're looking to sell their business.
Well, selling a business is a pretty complicated process and not without its challenges. It's almost like walking through a minefield. The deal can blow up at any time if you're not careful. We at Alamo Brokers have more than 15 years of experience, and it really helps when you deal with issues that can become potential deal killers. We also have learned a thing or two and can help the business owner get more money for the business and oftentimes cash out faster when we sell the business.
So how does a quality business broker provide more value when it's time to sell a business?
A lot of people think that selling a business is just a matter of matching the buyer and the seller and negotiating the deal. But let me tell you, there's so much more to it than that. A critical step before you list it is to prepare it to be sold. We go through the business to make sure all the business processes and systems are in place and that they can be transferred to the buyer and that they are well documented. A real case scenario is when we were hired to sell a distribution business, very well established, but the inventory management system and the bookkeeping system were not well documented. We assembled a team, and in the process of resolving this, we ended up increasing the bottom line by over 20%, and we ended up selling it for more than we had originally expected.
It seems to me that most brokers would know how to advertise a business for sale. Is there more to that?
Advertising the business is just a small part of our marketing strategy. We also create a professionally prepared, detailed business review that will help the buyer get a solid first impression of the business. But more important than that, we spend a lot of time understanding the business and what makes it unique so that we can market it and appeal to the buyer in the best possible way. We also spend time developing growth strategies to help the buyer see how he can continue growing it after the sale. Done right, this will help sell the business both faster and at a better price.
Well, Stefan, that certainly makes sense. Can you give me an example?
Alamo Brokers was hired to sell a business after another broker had tried to sell it for over a year with no result. This is a pretty complicated business. It had an element of manufacturing, wholesale, retail, online sales, and it even had its own franchise organization. The first thing we had to do was to redefine the identity by identifying the core strengths and core competences. Once we had identified those, we concentrated all our marketing around these strengths and also our growth strategies, while other aspects of the business were de-emphasized. After just a few months of marketing it, we had several full-price offers in hand. The seller was very happy, and so was the buyer, because they followed our growth strategies and more than doubled sales in just a couple of years.
Okay, Stefan. So we've done the marketing and advertising. We've got an interested buyer. We've prepared the buyer. We've even contracted the buyer. But I have heard that even after all of that, that more than 50% of contracts don't ever get to closing. How can that be right?
That's right, Steve. This is a big concern to the seller. And the way we at Alamo Brokers deal with this is we take a very active role with the buyer once we're under contract, so we can help the buyer go through due diligence to close the deal. We have resources available such as CPAs, attorneys, third-party lenders, and we even help the buyer write their business plan so they can get the final loan approval. This is all part of our services. The end result is over 80% of our deals end up closing, and in most cases the seller ends up with more cash in their pocket at closing.
All right, Stefan. So do you have any final advice for a business owner who's considering selling their business?
If you're thinking about selling a business, you need the help of a professional who can successfully guide you through the process. Give us a call and let's talk about your situation. We will give you some useful information and we will discuss your options so you can decide how you want to move forward. And you should know, our conversation is without any costs or obligation, and it is strictly confidential.